What an absolutely glorious day to do some flying today, guys, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing. We're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We're going to be flying the IndiaFoxtEcho T-45, and we're going to be flying another military low-level route in the United States called VR-1031 throughout mostly central Alabama. We're flying out of NAS Meridian, so let's go ahead and hop in the airplane, and we'll get going. All right, here we are, short of runway 28. We'll take the active, and we'll get out of here really fast and get started on our routes. Got some FSLTL traffic out there, as you can see. Love flying with that when it works right. Sometimes I see some issues with my computer in that. I don't know if it's just dragging my computer down or what, but... All right, looks like winds are calm. Yeah, the winds aren't doing anything, so... All right, there we go. We're lined up, good to go. Let's go ahead and give her some power. Go ahead and go full. And at 9 knots, we'll start to rotate. There you go, come on. About 130, she should lift off, maybe 140-ish. There we go. All right, pause rate climb, let's get the gear up. And we'll start getting the flaps in as well, too. So what we'll do is we'll just cruise over to the entry part. It's just north of Meridian. We'll cruise over there about 300 knots, 2,000 feet, something like that. All right, so there we go. We're about 2,000 feet and change, 300 knots. Pull power back just a tad, and we'll head for 1031's entry point. It's going to be at a little town called Scuba, Mississippi, or at least I pronounce it Scuba. I don't know if it's really called that, but that's where we're going. We're going to Scuba. We'll pick up the route. We fly the route at 500 feet, 360 knots, pretty standard for T-45s. We do have one route segment we have to fly at 1,000 feet. So we'll do that when we get there. And we have another route segment where we have to stay below 1,000 feet. So we'll talk about that when we get there. All right, so we got just a few minutes before we get to the route entry here. All right, let's go ahead and start descending for route entry. We'll put some power in. We want to hit 360 knots, 500 feet. We'll hit the entry at Scuba, and then we'll go a little bit to the right of the center line. We got 5 miles to the right, 2 miles to the left, so we're going to stay to the right of it. For our UK friends, of course, in the United States, we don't have low-fly areas per se. We have designated routes that they fly. MTRs. I mean, they can low fly in a MOA if the MOA is low enough, but for the most part, they have designated routes or corridors that they have to fly called military training routes. And this would be one of them. All right, there's Scuba right there. There's the highway we're flying over. It'll be 45. Trim her down just a little bit, pull the power back, got a little bit fast. And we're 600 feet, 500 and change now. A little bumpy this morning down here. That is for certain. It's just a little bit bumpy. Here we go, radio tower just off the nose. That's not a problem. All right, we're going to head for waypoint, our steer point at Bravo. We're going to turn just a little bit to the east of it at a place called Prairie Points. All right, out over the farmland here in Mississippi, in far eastern Mississippi. We may be in Alabama right now. Yeah, we're just about. We're just a little bit to the west of the Alabama state line. Seems like we had another radio tower right down there. Good on him. We'll be coming up on Prairie Point straight ahead. All right, another tower over there at 10 o'clock, not a factor. And this should be Prairie Point right in here, these lakes. And then we'll make our next turn on course. It's going to be 059 degrees. There we go. Flew through it just a little bit. Let's go back to north just a tad here. Man, it's bumping us around a lot. Such a cool little airplane. When I grew up in Alabama, these things flew over our house all the time. The red and white trainers out of Meridian. Later on, it was the T-45s. Earlier, it was the Buckeyes. What was it? The T. There's the dam right there over the Tom Bigby and the locks. That's cool. Too bad we didn't have a barge down there. That'd be nice. All right, let's hop back in. Got a little bit high. That's okay, though. All right, let's go ahead and make our next turn. We definitely want to stay on the center line or to the south of it because there's like a 1,000-foot tower just to the north of the center line. All right, so we're heading to waypoint Delta now. We need to stay below 1,000 feet because I think we're going to be flying under the arrival into Tuscaloosa. So we need to stay between 500 and 1,000 feet for sure. There's another radio tower over there to the 11. Yeah, that's going to be the big 1,000-foot one there. We got another one just off the nose at 12. Climb up a little bit here. I want to say that radio tower is 1,100 feet. The one over there at 11 o'clock. Let's get back on course. We'll fly down this center line on this section here. Alright, so we're coming up on the arrival into Tuscaloosa. We are just to the southwest of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And we'll be flying under the arrival, underneath the ILS for one of the runways here. So that's why we got to stay below 1,000 feet. We're due about 500 feet right now. And our next visual waypoint will be Interstate 20. We'll fly over Interstate 20. And then right after that, we'll make our turn at Delta. All right, I-20 should be coming up right here. There goes I-20, yes. Other tower, not a factor on that one. Yeah, I-20 there, and then we'll fly over the Black Warrior River and make our turn there. All right, there you go, Black Warrior River. We'll make a slight turn here. That's cool. Looks like some big parking lot there. I don't know what that is. A lot of cars down there. All right, big radio tower straight ahead. Deviate to the right just a little bit here. All right, here we are on 82. We'll fly down it just a bit. You can see the train's getting a lot more rugged over here. We'll fly through the Talladega National Forest. That'll be probably the closest to mountains we'll get. Like it's pretty rugged over there. All right, still 360 knots, roughly 500 feet, between 500 and 600. All right, so now we're coming up on Steer Point Echo. What we need to do is start climbing to 1,000 feet. We have to fly this segment of the route between 1,000 and 1,500 feet. Steer Point Echo is going to be right over a little town called Jemison. So I'm honestly not sure why they fly this segment so high. I mean, I know we fly over Jemison. It's a decent sized town. But yeah, it's kind of odd that this section is flown at 1,000 feet. But that's what we'll do. Once we get to see a little bit more stuff this way. All right, there we go. 1,000 feet AGL. And our next heading is going to be 040, 40 nautical miles to Steer Point F. All right, there we go. There's Jemison. All right, let's go ahead and make our turn. 040. This section of the route, we got 2 nautical miles either side of the center line, so we'll have to kind of stick with that a little bit. Let's fly, let's fly. Yeah, this is fine. Actually, this is fine. We'll fly to the right. All right, there we go, straight ahead, 12 o'clock. I don't know if you guys can make it out, but if you squint really hard, just about right off the HUD there, right off the HUD tape, is going to be 2 big smokestacks. That is our next visual landmark. That is a big power plant called Wilsonville. So can't miss it. You can see it from miles and miles away. Really cool fun fact, Spur, when I worked for the railroad, I used to take coal trains down there. Used to take a coal train every once in a while down to Wilsonville. They had a big loop and a bridge, a dump bridge. So you drive over this bridge, the doors on the coal cars open automatically and it dump the coal out. Pretty cool spot. Spent a lot of time down there. When you take the coal train, like, it's going to take hours and hours and hours and hours to do it. So I remember one particular time, I think it took 3 crews to dump the train because it was really super cold outside, and what they did was they washed the coal after it was processed, right? And so it froze together inside the coal cars. So what happened is we went over the bridge, doors opened up on the first car, nothing came out. It was just frozen solid, one big lump inside. So the guys that were operating the dump bridge called the power plant, and they sent about a dozen men and women up there with sledgehammers, and they all started beating the sides of the cars. That's how we unloaded the train. They all took turns beating the side of the coal hoppers and breaking the coal loose. They didn't have a shaker. I don't think they could use shakers on those cars, if I remember correctly. But yeah, good times. Got a lot of memories down there. A lot of times spent sitting and waiting. If you see, you can kind of look down there about 1 or 2 o'clock. No, actually, no, that's the road. There should be some other railroad tracks going into the power plant. That was the Norfolk Southern. They actually had access to the plant. We had to cross over them. So we spent a lot of time sitting and waiting to cross them to get into the power plant. Yeah, you can see the little yard right there, the small rail yard. And the plant, the coal pile, you can see all that stuff over there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool spots. We're getting into an area of central Alabama now known as the Golden Triangle. There's a lot of manufacturing and stuff like that here. There was a big army works here back during World War II. If you look, if you see those mountains right over there about 1 o'clock, those are going to be called the Sleeping Giants. That's just outside of Talladega, Alabama, where they have the race at. Just to the right of the mountains would be Talladega. Right over that way is going to be the town of Childersburg. The big ridge line running along over there about 2 o'clock, that's going to be the Talladega National Forest. River there is going to be the Coosa. Okay, pull the power back just a little bit, getting a little fast. All right, we're coming up on waypoint Foxtrot, Steer Point F. So we'll be able to descend after F. Let's go back this way just a little bit. There we go. Go back towards the Coosa River now. It's going to be the Coosa River straight ahead. And we're going to use a railroad bridge over the river as our steer point, our turn point here. There's the dam. I don't know. You may not be able to see the bridge over the river here. It may not actually have it in game. I don't think it does. It should be right down here. Yeah, I can see the tracks right there. That was the rail line I worked on back in the day, back many, many years ago. That would be the rail line. All right, let's turn. Big turn. All right, go back down to Coosa a little bit here. Pull power back just a tad. The old Army Works would have been right over there. You know, I want to say they processed heavy water here for the Manhattan Project. I want to say I remember reading something about that. I can't, I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But that's going to be the big paper mill at Coosa Pines right there. That was another place I used to work at. It's nothing like, yeah, in sim is nothing like what it is in real life. It's way more to it than that. All right, this little hill in front of us here is going to be an area called Sycamore. Little tiny community. And the big ridge line in front of us is going to be the Talladega Mountains as part of the Talladega National Forest. This part of the route segment, we got 5 nautical miles either side, so we got tons and tons of room. All right, there you go. There should be Sycamore right there. Let's keep going on this heading here, and we'll pick up Highway 148, and then we'll fly through a big gap in the mountains here. It's called... Sorry, I just had to look on the map. It's called Bull's Gap. That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure. It's called Bull's Gap. And I think it's going to be this gap right back over here. That looks like it. I think it's going to be it right here. Climb back up. Train's rising slightly, so we got to climb up just a little bit. That's the tricky thing. The slightly rising train is what will really sneak up and get you. The mountains are easy, like you can see them, there's no doubt. But like in some areas when the train is rising super slightly, you don't realize it. Got a little bit slow as it gets more power back in. All right, yeah, this is Bull's Gap, and you can kind of make out Highway 148 going through it there a little bit. Spur's driven through here a few times back in the day. Of course, I live in Texas now. I haven't been in Alabama in many, many years, but... All right, let's nose over, and... There we go. All right, there we go, Highway 9. All right, we need to climb 1,500 feet because we're about to pass over or really close to Goodwater Airport. So I think what it says is it has to be 1,500 feet within 3 nautical miles of the airport. So that's what we're going to do. We'll climb 1,500 feet. A little bit slow too. You need to pour in a lot of power. All right, there you go. There's our airport right there. That's Goodwater. All right, let's go ahead and get back down to 500 feet. And we should have 5 nautical miles to either side of the center line. I think we have 5 on either side the entire duration of the route. All right, we should be getting back on the center line pretty soon. This area is a mess down here, and what I mean is just like it's really rugged. There's no real ridge lines or anything. It's just kind of just all over the place. So there's not any good lines to fly. Go ahead and get back on the center line. right, next steer point is going to be hotel at a place called Rockford. All right, I think I see the Coosa River peaking over there. We'll be part of the lake behind the dam. I'm not sure what the lake is called, but the dam should be right up here. We should spot it. Yeah, it's going to be this little crook in the river right here. There it is. Yeah, nice. All right. Wow, we got really slow, really fast. What is up with that? Speed brakes are out. I have no clue how that happened. I must have bumped them. There we go. Yeah, I must have bumped them. I got them keybound to my joystick. I must have bumped it. Didn't realize it. All right, little community here is going to be Verbena. And it's going to be I-65 right here. Yeah, I-65 between Montgomery and Birmingham. Overflew it. Yeah, this would be so much fun to do as a two-ship. I really need some fellow T-45 pilots out there. If you've got the IndiaFoxtEcho T-45, let me know. There's nothing too crazy. They fly these routes. It's pretty loose formation. It's not like they're flying wingtip to wingtip or anything. It's pretty loose. It wouldn't be too terribly hard. We'd basically just be chasing each other. All right, we see some more stacks right out there at 12 o'clock. It's going to be another power plant. And I'm getting bumped around so bad. All right, we're going to do an advertisement here. If you are a T-45 pilot, if you have the IndiaFoxtEcho T-45 and you want to do some multiplayer low-level flying like this as a two-ship, let me know down in the comments. Let me know, and we'll see about doing that sometime. I've got tons and tons of routes. I got all the stuff needed, so it'll be a lot of fun. All right, should be coming up on Highway 5 just shortly here. Where's it going to be at? We should be crossing it right now. But it is right here. There's radio tower. Yeah, cell phone tower. So that's going to be Highway 5 right there. Nice. All right. Looks like we got another tower out there about 11 o'clock. Way out in the distance. All right, Sawyerville should be right over there at 1 o'clock. You can kind of make it out in the trees. And our next heading is going to be 179 for 37 nautical miles. Go ahead and do that. There we go, should be close enough. Somewhere in there, and we rolled out. Yeah, just about on the center line. That's my absolute favorite kind of flying to do in the sim. It's like VFR flying on steroids, right? Like, you get to check out all the scenery, but you don't have to putt around at 110 knots in a little Cessna, so I love it. There's another tower over there to the 9 o'clock. Should be the Black Warrior River again, I think. And Butler Choctaw Airport should be right back over that way. But we're good and clear of him by 3 miles. Like I said, we'll come off the route, we'll quick climb, and then we'll cruise back to Meridian. We'll do a straight in on our landing. We're not going to do an overhead. I haven't done an overhead in this airplane in probably half a year. All right, we'll climb up this little rise in terrain here. Looks like I got some radio towers straight ahead. Deviate to the right, just a tad. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, it's gonna be 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Radio towers don't mean anything in the airline world, right? But when you're doing this kind of flying, like, it adds so much more to it. It gives you something to kind of look out for. All right, there we go. We've exited route. Let's go ahead and climb off. And we'll turn on course for Meridian. All right, here we are, leveling out at 10.5. We'll cruise back at probably about 300 knots, 330, something like that. I already have Meridian in sight. Field is in sight. What a gorgeous, beautiful day to fly, right? Like, this is supposed to be real weather. Yeah, I see Meridian already. I already have it in sight. Let's trim the nose up just a little bit here. And let's look at the weather. Let's look at our arrival weather for Meridian. It's going to be 1106 knots, 10 statute miles clear. We need to land to the south then. What are we doing? There's no mistaking the pinwheel of Meridian, right? That better be Meridian. I won't be mad if it's not. It's got to be NAS Meridian right there. Yeah, see, yeah, the 3 runways. That has to be Meridian. Oh, man, I wish I could do this on VATSIM like I did back in the day. That would be so much fun. I miss that. I miss those days. It was a lot of fun. Out flying around, enjoying the scenery. I like the airline stuff, don't get me wrong, it's fun too, but it's a completely different kind of flying. All right, yeah, that is Meridian. Nice, it's cool. We picked it up 30 miles out, no problem. You know, if I was thinking, if I'd managed my altitude and I'd been thinking about it, we could have made a downwind entry into 19. Maybe we can do that. We'll try and see. Let's get some, let's get the boards out. Dude, I don't know what pattern altitude is going to be at Meridian though. I completely didn't look that up. This isn't going to be 100% legit. I highly doubt they dive bomb the airfield like this, but that's what we're going to do to get down. They are 1,500 and change. Nice. All right, I'll go with that. Wingtip should be about on the runway. We'll see. Yeah, a little off. We're a little far out, but that's all right. All right, go ahead, pull the power back. Get some flaps, get some gear. There we go. Our threshold at. I can't tell. Looks like. All right, here we go. Shore final. A little bit of wind today, yeah. Power, I know, yep. Power. A little different landing with the speed brakes out. Kick the nose around here. Come on. There we go. All right, we made it. Man, that is a little bit of a crosswind, man. All right, guys, as we taxi back to the ramp, that's going to do it for this one. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to hit that like, subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Love all of you. Thank you for this journey as we approach 5,000 subs. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And with that said, we'll catch you in the air next time. Peace.